What's a kink someone admitted to you that completely shocked you? My ex, bless him, was so vanilla that it was almost weird. He could not even comprehend fetishes at all. I tried to explain them and his question was invariably, okay, but when does the penis go in the vagina? But after a couple years together he admitted that he did have one perverse kink that he was very embarrassed about: goosebumps. Seeing a girl with goosebumps turned him on. I was like, okay, just because it's for you, I can make that fantasy happen. Turned air down to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. The guy I'm seeing has a high-heel, business clothing fetish. He loves to watch me walk in heels and gets so turned on if I get tripped up, stumble. He told me about his kink on our second date. I was like, well, I have heels and business clothes, so let's do it. He was surprised that I was willing to indulge. He took me heel shopping recently and watching him pick out my shoes was a turn on. Tears of joy. I always thought my wife was vanilla. Had no issue because she was as smoking hot. Turns out she's really into being tied up. Very softcore BDSM stuff. Tied up, teased, spanked. Completely wild that it took her 10 years to admit that to me when I had been asking and poking and prodding trying to find anything that she might be into trying. When I ask her why it took so long she's like, I don't know, I just never really thought you'd be into it. Spoiler alert. I'm super into it. Super into it. I am a disabled wheelchair user. My partner and I parted ways while shopping and I went to the garden section. A worker started insisting on helping me even though I didn't need it and hadn't asked. He was getting awfully pushy and started asking personal questions. It was starting to piss me off and I decided to leave and go find my partner. This worker started following me across the store as I'm telling him to leave me alone. Eventually he says he has a craving for crippled girls, and that I should be grateful since most people wouldn't go for someone on wheels leeching from them. A coworker told me they had a fetish for a particular body type and I thought, that's fucking weird. How could you like that? And it was 2 years later that I realized they were just describing me. One of my previous client frequently travels to Thailand and other Southeast Asian country and pay hookers to shit on his face and then have sex. I didn't believe him at first until he showed me some video on his phone. I think I need therapy after seeing that. My girlfriend has a voice kink. She fell in love with me because of my voice. So all I had to do is talk and she melts. It's been a great 5 years and going. Not so much the kink itself but moreover the person who was into the kink. Very blokey fella who was tradie. Played rugby on the weekend and did a stint in the army. Into wearing women's saucy underwear, like the type you have to pay a hooker extra to wear, and getting pegged. An ex of mine was a recovering IV drug user and had been clean a while by the time we met. He told me about how horny he would get when he was high, and that he'd like to have me stick a needle into his vein during sex to simulate the experience. I went with him to get his blood drawn once and I could see him getting visibly aroused and sexually gratified by the sensation of his arm being tied off and the needle being put in his vein. Listening to someone peeing turned them on. No offense, I was just surprised. This one girl I used to be friends with that was into some hardcore sex. She liked having her boyfriend slam her face into the bedpost where she would bleed and get punched. It made me cringe hearing that because I don't like pain. Unfortunately, that relationship was toxic because outside of it, I found out that he was abusive as well, so he crossed the boundaries and didn't care about what was fantasy and reality with her. That's why he was okay with being so aggressive. Pretty common one, but hearing guys talk about how their kink is watching their partner with another dude is always a little shocking because you'd never expect it. Example being a mid-40s couple who have been together more than 20 years, and they're fairly stable with a family and decent careers. They're into the whole hot wife thing. She wears the anklet and all that, has sex with other guys and then tells her partner all about it. Nobody would ever guess. An ex-fiancé wanted me to roleplay as an uncle, father figure who needs his medicine from their very young niece, daughter. I wasn't comfortable doing that and she got quite upset that I wasn't willing. We broke up soon after. A girl I used to date had a foot fetish, which was unusual, to me, to hear of a woman with that attraction. I always associated that kink with men for some reason. When I was fucking her, she asked me to piss inside her. I thought I misunderstood. I thought she meant, come inside me, and she just said the wrong word in the heat of the moment. So I repeated it, want me to come inside you? To which she said, no, I want you to piss inside me. I lied, and told her I pissed before we started. So maybe next time. There was no next time.